Thank you very much for being here, and good afternoon. I think that it's afternoon for everybody, even if you are, in Central Time, but it's afternoon for everybody there. So this is the first meeting of the reincarnation of TADUG. And Paul, if I'm pronouncing TADUG, uh, wrongly, just correct me, please, because again, you are the founder, so I have to respect the right pronunciation. Is TADUG correct, Paul?
Well, leave his face. It just started off with what do you want to call it? So Toronto area, .NET users group, and then it was sort of like tada or TADUG. So I never really pushed it hard either way. But I just just all my announcements went under the name TADUG. So however you'd like to do it, Aderson, it's all up to you. Glad to have you do it.
No, TADUG is okay for me as long as I can pronounce. As long as there's no th, if it doesn't involve th, that's fine for me. TADUG, I can live with that. So guys, again, that's a reincarnation. The reason why I'm calling Paul Scarlett, he is the original founder, the original creator of TADUG, which was put together. Was it back in 2011, 2012, Paul?
Yeah, but then unfortunately I'm not on my main system, so I don't have all my records from back then, but I do have them, which I need to give to you. Anyway, it was from back then. I had done it. We put it together, and there were a bunch of people, much like yourself, trying to get the thing going, and there was a push by DNN Corp to try to get some user groups up. So I leaped in with both feet. So but and we had I think 8 meetings over a period of about a year and a half. So
to be quite honest, Paul, I'm very thankful for what you put together back then, because there are a few people here in this call right now that I met through those meetings, and again, we are good friends until today. So again, it was very positive.
It's a good community. I'm glad to see it resurging, coming back, and lots of names that I see here that we talked about and talked to and have met either through the group meetings and or via the other the meetings that other meetings we had in conferences and that we had all over. So it was great fun and still is. So.
Awesome. Great. So yeah, there's a slide here for you now in some point. So just quickly here, I put a rough agenda together. Again, to be honest, guys, I'm playing by ear here. That's my first time running or trying to run an online community, user group, however you want to call it. So again, bear with me for a second here. So the agenda is I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna do some acknowledgments, which I did already a little bit. I want to try to, I don't know if this will work online wise, but I want to try to go around and have people introducing themselves just to say, hey, this is what I do. My name is this, and this is what I do with DNN. This is where I'm located. Also, I'll be talking about DNN 9.2 and DNN 9, and then more specifically about DNN 9.2. It will be very focused on the admin experience, the user interface experience. I'm not gonna go deep dive into any coding, to anything like that. And then we wrap up, and that should be roughly around 8 p.m. or before that. So again, we already did a little bit of that. I want to acknowledge Paul. Paul, thank you very much for being there when I reached out to you. You very generously provided the entire list of the old members. I reached out to them. Some of them were available, but again, I just want to acknowledge and saying thank you for for facilitating this. Okay.
Oh, no problem. I will continue to join and be at your meetings. So look forward to it.
Awesome. I also want to. I didn't write your names here. No, I'm talking about you, Clint. I'm talking about Clint. Will Stroll, Dave Poindexter, that gave me support in terms of how to put a user group meeting together, give me tips and tricks and guidelines. So again, I want to acknowledge your participation as well. Clint, I know that you're driving somewhere. Yeah, great.
We're parked right now, but you're welcome. I'm glad to see it. Glad to see the meeting happening. Glad to hear the Paul Scarlett's voice again, and I want and to win.
Guys, so again, for those that don't know Clint, I mean, he is the representative here of DNN Corp. So again, be kind, be gentle, be nice, because he's listening. Okay, so again, let's take it easy here. Okay. Anyway, let me go around here, I guess. Let's do this. Name, location, and what you do with DNN. That should be short, 30 seconds mostly. And let's start with, I'm gonna go from top to bottom here. Andrew, if you want to chime in.
All right, my name is Andrew. I'm located just across the pond in Rochester. For those that aren't around here, upstate New York. What do I do with DNN? I've been using DNN for about a year and a half now, and I've done a lot of work with pull requests and custom module development.
Awesome, Andrew. Again, it's you're not so new anymore, but it's very good to see new faces and new blood in the community as well. So we don't always see the older face. So again, very good and very positive what I've been seeing from you. I'm not part of the technology group, but I hear from the grapevine of the great things that you are doing there. So again, thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah, not a problem.
Awesome. Next one here, Clint. Clint, if you want to give just your 2 cents. I mean, I gave a little bit, but again, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm Clint Patterson, longtime DNN community guy. I am ecosystem manager at DNN Corp. And essentially, I view that as the glue that helps hold the ecosystem together. And so I'm here to serve the community and help in any way possible.
So guys, as you can see, this is not a TADUG exclusive meeting. No, we have party crashes and we have locals as well. So again, it's a big mixture here, but it's great. It's great to have all kinds of all people with different levels of knowledge and experiences, and again to share and contribute here. Daniel from Montreal, if I'm not mistaken. Daniel, do you want to chime in? Daniel, I cannot hear you, but I'm sure that you're talking.
I think in the chat he says he doesn't have his mic on.
Oh, okay. So I mean, great, Scott. I mean, if someone is able to keep up with the chat, because I don't think that I will be able to, that would be awesome. Daniel, welcome.
So, Aderson, Daniel posted in the chat that he's been using DNN since version 4 for doing skin module development, and that they host 12 small sites in Montreal.
Awesome, Daniel. Awesome. Great to have you here. Yeah. I think that I posted a job on Upwork at some point, and I think that you applied. We need to touch base. We need to talk, but again, leave it for later. David Poindexter. Okay, David, it's your turn. Go ahead, man.
Hi, I'm David Poindexter. I'm in North Carolina, and I am new to DNN, trying to learn it a little bit. And thanks for having me.
See, I mean, don't come with that. That's pure BS. You know that. But people will not know that. No, people will not know that.
I've been working with DNN since the very beginning. I was creating iBuySpy modules back in the day before DNN existed. So been around the community for a long time, community lover. So good to be here with you guys and helping you start up this.
Perfect. Thank you very much, David. Dwayne, we touched base already, but again, if you just want to say name, location, and what you do with DNN. I think you're muted, Dwayne, maybe?
How's that? Does that work?
Yes, awesome.
All right. My name's Dwayne. I'm from Burlington, Ontario. I've been working with DNN since the very beginning as well. I've been writing software for 30 some odd years, and I really liked the DNN and the platform and the group and the community, and everything was a lot of fun. And then things went a little weird. Now I took some time off work, and now I'm past my sabbatical. I'm ready to get back to work again, and I'm looking at DNN and see if it's something that we might like to work with. I don't know if anybody recognizes my name from the DNN site in years and years, but I haven't been at it for a while. But there's Clint's giving me a thumbs up, so there you go. Hi, David. So if you look through the old forums, you'll find my name all over the place.
I came across your name so many times, Dwayne, so many times.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome,
But Dwayne,
thanks for having me.
Dwayne, it's not as much as I've seen Sebastian, though. So, you know, you need to step it up a little bit.
Never know.
Okay. So let's keep going here. Next one here again. If someone came in later and it's on top of the list, I may miss. But next one here on my list is Gary. Gary, if you want to chime in.
Hi, my name is Gary. I work for DNN for quite a long time ago. I'm still using the DNN for. Right now. I've just upgraded to the version 9.911, so it looks quite good.
Very good. And you are located at? I mean, are you in the GTA?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto District. I work for Toronto District School Board for
great.
a long time. So we're using the DNN for. We have 4 farms right now. We have the internal, external, one called academic workplace, another one we call school website.
Got it. I almost did some work to Toronto District School Board a few years ago. I almost did some work there, but never came to fruition.
Okay. So you work with Anthony Knight, or who you work with?
I'll have to check. We just got to a few conversations, but never went too far. I'll check and I'll get back to you on that. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Gifford, my friend Gifford. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you?
Oh, good. Yeah, I hear everybody fine. I've got some folks in the background here. Yeah, I'm Gifford Watkins. I live in Nova Scotia. I've been active with DNN since I started my company in 2004, 2005 or so. I do a lot of support stuff with DNN. I work with a lot of the partners and mostly stay behind the scenes and behind the curtains on most of the jobs that I do. But I formed what I would consider to be the best business model around DNN that could be crafted, and have traveled and spoken at the majority of the conferences. So glad to see everybody here, and pessimistic about the future, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, Gifford, again, thank you very much for being here. I just reached out to you yesterday, so again, last minute call. So thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much for being here, and let's make it positive again for everybody. But again, let's keep moving forward here. Thank you for being here. That's the point. Gifford, okay, Jason, how are you, Mr. Nagy?
I'm fine, Aderson. I think the phrase was "turn that frown upside down." Is that what you're looking for?
I guess it is.
So I'm Jason Nagy. I'm in Guelph now, Guelph, Ontario. Recently moved last year from Pickering. I've been involved with DNN probably since 2010, 2011. That's where I met Aderson. John I've known for a long time. I met Paul. Paul was the first one I went to. Said, "Hey, I need some DNN people. Who do you know?" And he put me on to Aderson. So it's been great ever since. So I look forward to connecting with all of you.
Awesome, Jason. Great segue to John. John, how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So I'm in Hamilton, just outside of Toronto, but sometimes considered the Greater Toronto Area. And I also picked up on DNN, I think back in the iBuySpy day. We used it for a major volunteer agency to write something for them. And then eventually Jason called me up one day and said, hey, I met this guy Aderson at the DNN group, and I think it's a solution to our next project. And ever since then, I've used it on a whole various selection of businesses, from all kinds of things. But essentially, it's always been a nice host for some other sort of line of business module, and it's a great way to deploy it and get it out there. So I've been working with it ever since.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for being here, John. Again, thank you for accepting the invitation here. So again, it's one of the people that Jason and John that DNN brought close to me, and I'm grateful to get to know those individuals because of DNN, because of the community that Paul put together a few years ago. So thank you very much for being here, guys. Mike Smeltzer. Mike, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing very fine, very good, and I miss you. You know what I'm talking about. I miss you, man.
It's not been that long, but it seems like a much longer time. Yes, so I miss you as well, buddy.
So, intro yourself. Name, location, and what you do with DNN.
Sure, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Smeltzer. I'm also based in Canada. I'm on the East Coast, though, in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've been working with DNN since about 2010, 2011. Relatively new, though, to the public .NET community. Mainly, I offer consulting services that focus on module development and system integration work. Outside of that, I'm actually recently just starting to get into doing commercial product development for .NET Nuke for a few different projects I'm working on.
Awesome, awesome, and again, you forgot to mention Shine. You can plug Shine.
You want to plug it? All right. So Aderson's speaking about a control panel replacement I've been working on for the last little while. It's currently called Shine. It's not available yet. There's a website for it though with a sign up list. Public demos coming very soon, but it is a control panel for DNN 7.4 and up that is focusing on trying to improve the user experience for all users of .NET Nuke and bring some more enterprise type features to all platform users.
Awesome. Great, Mike. Okay, thank you. So, Paul, do you want to give a bit of your background and your intro here as well, again, I guess?
Well, yeah. Can you hear me? Okay. I just went through a meltdown on my machine, but I've been working with DNN since version 2, I guess, maybe even a little bit before that. I think version 2 was the first one I actually got going. And I use it in a fairly large internal intranet site at GM in Oshawa, where I'm located. And I've been playing with it for quite a long time. Developed several modules that were used in the community earlier, and I still support them, working around SQL and doing some SQL reporting and stuff like that. That's about it. I haven't done much in the area in the last little while for a lot of reasons. But I'm enjoying the fact that seeing a little resurgence in DNN, so looking forward to taking part and being part of the community again. So.
Awesome, Paul. Awesome. Again, thank you very much for being here. Just before I go to the last one here, Scott, to you, but just want to mention that we are recording this, and the intention, actually, I have 3 recording things here at the same time. If one fails, I have the next one, the next one, the next one. So this meeting will be published live. So I guess that I should have maybe mentioned that at the beginning of the meeting, but I don't think that anything out of the ordinary was mentioned so far. So be mindful about that. Be aware that this will go live once we are done here. Scott, your turn again. Be mindful.
Hi, I'm Scott Wilkinson, and I work for Blue Bolt Solutions, which is a gold partner, DNN gold partner, and here in beautiful but cold Chicago, Illinois. And I also work for DNN Hero and supply some of the development content for the self-paced training.
Very good, very good. Okay, awesome. So how about we get some action going here? So thank for everybody being here. Let's go to, actually, you know what? I did not introduce myself. I mean, how bad of an example is that? So Aderson Oliveira, hello, like Clint, you know. Hello, Aderson Oliveira here. My name is Aderson Oliveira. I live in Ajax. I've been working with DNN since 2006. 2010, I started DNN Hero. I put up some training content more towards the administration side of DNN. I do some development as well. I run a company called DeskPaul, which provides support on DNN. I run the DNN Hero website, which provides training on DNN. So that's me in a nutshell. And again, I'm trying to get our user group going again. So that's my intro, the last intro here. So let's go down to the presentation itself. Anyone here have not run a DNN 9 website before? I mean, anyone here did not ever see a DNN 9 website? I mean, can you just, I guess, just chime in the chat if you don't want to do it verbally, just raise your hand or whatever it is. I'm just say me on the chat or something like that. Okay, so it seems that, yeah, okay, Dwayne. I know that Dwayne and Jason, you both have not. I've only worked with DNN. Okay, so you know what, Andrew? This is not for you, but if I have a DNN 8 or 7 presentation in the future, I'll be able to add something to you there. Okay, so, but again, at least I know that Dwayne and Jason, you both did not see that. So,
but I haven't fired it up.
Yep. So again, let's get this going then. So the intention is, one, to show the specifics of DNN 9.2, but also because I knew that some people would have not seen DNN 9 yet, because maybe they didn't have the courage yet to upgrade to DNN 9 because of things that they may have heard about DNN 9. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's new. But yes, it's good. It is good. And I've been running sites on DNN 9 for pretty much a year and a half since the inception of DNN 9, which was December 2016. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm just going to try to flip back and forth from the presentation to a live site running on my environment here. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, so if you guys have not seen this, I think that I have to log in back again. Let's see. So if you have not seen DNN 9 yet, the first thing that you're going to notice is a different control bar, a different navigation bar. Traditionally, the DNN control bar has been placed in the top. However, we have now the persona bar coming off of the left-hand side of the website. So we have the persona bar here. Again, the name, fancy persona bar. And from top to bottom, I'm logged in here as a super user. As an admin, you're going to have a slightly different view, but not too different, to be honest. Differently from what DNN 8 or DNN 7 used to do, which it used to have a clear admin menu and a clear host menu. Here, we no longer have that in DNN 9. We no longer have a clear distinction of a menu for admin and a menu for host level, for super user level. Everything, in a way, is a bit blended. You're going to have areas of the website that both types of users, both level will have access. However, some options will be hidden and restricted to host user only. Some options will be available to admin as well. So I'm just going to go run top to bottom here. We have the content navigation, which has the page management, the recycle bin. We have the manage, which it's close to what it used to be admin, where we have users, roles, site assets, which used to be called file manager. And site assets is the admin level, where global assets is the file manager, which used to be under host level. Then we have themes, which I might be calling these skins here and there because of habit, but it's the old skins that we were used to know back then. We have sites as well, which you can also think about as portals. It's just a new terminology, a different terminology, actually a more clear terminology, to be honest with you. So instead of portals, it's all called sites right now. And then we have the event logs, which is now called admin logs. I just want to point out, actually, I'm not going to go there now. Let me just revert back here. And by the way, if anyone has a question, I mean, mostly the guys that have not seen DNN 9, please let me know somehow. Scream, because I'm not gonna be check the chat too much. So someone scream out there, and I'll stop. And by any chance, if there's something relevant that one of you guys that know DNN 9 already that think that might be relevant to mention as well, by all means chime in, interrupt me, and I'll just say your piece too. So if we keep going, we have settings, which has a bunch of stuff here, very close to what used to be there on the host level, but slightly different. I'm gonna focus on a few areas that are new on DNN 9.2, but I'm gonna do that in a second. And then we have, let me go back to the presentation here. So that's the persona bar. Now, one thing that a lot of people have problems with, actually I have problem with that as well, is because if you are used to DNN 7, DNN 8, usually you know where things are located back in those versions, However, when you come to DNN 9, you might be a bit lost. I was lost. I'm still, sometimes I see myself asking, where's this feature here that used to be under admin, or there used to be under host level. So to make that transition a little easier for you guys, we have put together, and this is about a year old or even more, this cheat sheet. It's a map of where the feature used to be on DNN 8. So that's the first column. And then where the feature is now located under DNN 9. And it will also point out whether it's available to administrators or super users. Most of them, as you can see, it's available to both. Some of them are no longer available. They have been removed. Some of them, as you see here, is only available to host, to super user. But again, this cheat sheet, I use this all the time to find things around. And again, people has found this useful. So, by the way, this presentation is available right away to be downloaded, so you don't need to write down anything here. The entire PPT is available. You'll see links in the notes section of the PPT. At the end of the presentation, I'm gonna share where you can download these PowerPoints with links like this as well. So, Dwayne, Jason, any questions so far?
No, for me.
Awesome.
No, I'm good too.
Wake up, Jason.
I'm good. I'm here.
I can hear you snoring. I can hear that. Okay, so that's it. That's the cheat sheet here. Where's Wally? And that's the point of that image. If you don't get it, where's Wally or where's Waldo, whatever it is. But again, you can find the cheat sheet. And then we have on the DNN 9 we have the edit bar. Now, as you can see, we are not in edit mode right now. So we have this little pencil here on the persona bar that you can click. And let me see. Okay, and it didn't do anything. So let me refresh the whole thing here. Let me go there. Okay, so if you click once, it will open up what I call, I have not seen the right term for that, but what I call the edit bar. The edit bar is this bar that comes across at the bottom of the screen. And now you can see the page in, with the with the modules, you can see the dashed areas for the modules. You can play around with, you can change the settings, you can change content, because now you have the edit bar loaded. Now, for the edit bar to stick around as you move through different pages, and I'm just gonna, let me see here, I'm just gonna go to another page on the site. Okay, so let me view this page. So as you can see, maybe this was not the best example, but let me see here. Yeah, so if you click once, it enters in edit mode. For the edit mode to stick around, to stay, you have to click it again. So now you can see that it's active blue. Now, if you navigate through the sites, every new page that it loads up, it will already be in edit mode. This used to be annoying in the earlier versions of DNN, because the edit mode used to close, and every time that you want to use it, you have to open, you have to click again. So now it can stick around. This is not new on DNN 9.2. It was there in DNN 9.1, but before that, it used to annoy me and a lot of people. Now, on the edit bar at the bottom, you can do a few things. You can add a new module, you can add an existing module from another page, you can go to the page settings, the current page settings, or you can just close the edit mode and be done. So you're gonna see a new interface here to add a module, and you can search for the module, you can just click on the module, it will be floating around, and then you can drag to the right position where you want to place the module. You can also use an existing module. I mean, this is just an out-of-the-box DNN, so we won't be able to see other pages, but you could potentially go to existing pages and make a copy of that module, or make a reference of the module from another page. That's adding an existing module. What else we have here? Then we have the page settings, which, and actually I didn't go through too many details on that. In this case, it loads up the page settings within the persona bar. So as you can see, everything that you see here is coming out of the persona bar, which actually I didn't mention that, but one of the ideas of the persona bar was really to separate the sometimes annoying problem that we had on previous versions, which was the CSS, the JavaScript that was written for the skin, for the template, may mess around with the top control panel, and in this case, it's slightly harder for the template or skin to mess around with what's going on here on the persona bar. That's yet another benefit of the persona bar, on top of being very fast, because it is fast, you know. I mean, again, just think about, I mean, there's a lot of client-side code going on, just not refreshing the entire page. And one of the benefits, or you can say, I mean, here and there, I think it's a curse as well, is the fact that the persona bar keeps the context. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by keeps the context? Let me give you an example here. Let me just load the page switch. I'm already there. And if I try to open this site on a different tab, see, the persona bar will load with the same view being displayed. Now, again, you may like that, you may not like that. This is the fact. The way I was used to work with DNN a lot in the past is that I used to open up different tabs to be interacting with different parts of the website, like site settings or SQL console or whatever it is. And then I could keep them open on different tabs. With DNN 9, because the persona bar keeps the context through tabs, you are not able to do that. So again, you have to accept and live with that fact. I don't think that this will change anytime soon, and nor it should be changed. I mean, again, that's just the way I was used to work, and I just need to get used to work in a different way. That might be it, you know.
Hey, Addison, is it okay if I interrupt you real quick?
Oh, sure.
We were just starting to talk in the chat about this screen. This screen changed quite a bit from 9.1 to 9.2, and if you are using like a 9.1 instance, depending on which viewer you're in, you might not have that menu on the left side. You might just have the details, permission, and advanced screen showing up. And I think they got it right when they made the changes to the UI for 9.2.
Got it. Oh, so
you get what I'm saying? Like, so that left part there. So when you go to the pages, the view is expanded to display more administrative information. So now you can easily navigate between the pages.
Oh, I see.
Before you'd have to go. So if you covered up that navigation bar area there with the underneath collapse all, and what you see on the right there, that's what's in 9.1. But in 9.2, they added in navigation control from the page level.
Got it.
Easily manage your pages instead of having to click back.
Oh, I see.
And also it's completely different. This is more tree view now, whereas it used to be boxes and would drive you batty, because if you updated the page settings, it would actually change the order of all your pages on the site. So you spend more time trying to rearrange everything. So
very true. And in the next few slides, I'll be showing some of the new things that came up with DNN 9.2, and including the revamped pages interface, you know, because it was a bit messy and they're a bit buggy. That the original ones in DNN 9, DNN 9.1, and even 1.1 was still a bit buggy. Let me see here. Okay, I think that let me go back to my PowerPoint if I can find that. Okay. I think there was something else that I wanted to show before I move forward here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this right away before I forget. So there is one little thing. See, as users, we don't have too much control of what's going on under the persona bar options. For instance, previously I could easily add a new page under admin. Let's say that if I have a module that maybe an article module or something like that, an admin module that you want to have a home for that admin module, and you could easily create a new page under admin that would show up under the admin menu. Now, whether or not this is on purpose, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, or if this will be removed at some point, but right now there is a way that, and maybe it's a hack, or maybe, again, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but there's a way that you can add more items under the manage menu in the persona bar, and it's actually in DNN 9.2, it's even easier. If you just click on add page, you can just say, you know, news admin. Let's say that this is the name of the new page that you want to link from the persona bar, and then you can say parent page, you can say admin, and you can keep, I think that you have to keep display menu active. Let's add this page here. And if I have a look at the navigation bar, you know, the persona bar, now you're gonna have news admin there. Okay, so if you click there, it will not load inside the persona bar. It's not a persona bar interface, of course, but it's a link that is there available that you can, you know, create to manage a third-party module that you may have installed or something like that. But bottom line, this is how you can, you know, do that. Again, not sure if it's on purpose or it's there by accident and it will be removed at some point, but at this point you can definitely do that.
Aderson, there's actually another way you can add those to the database.
Is it?
Yeah, there is. I have some SQL scripts that I'll send out and share. You can add them to any of the menu options there, not just the manage one. You can do it through the API as well, but if you have a SQL script, you just want to add a few links. It's pretty quick and easy to do. So I'll share those out after this.
Awesome. So yeah. So now, when I say that you cannot mess around with those menus, what I was really intending to say is that as a user, as a super user or admin user, that's not super readily available. But as a module developer, yes, there are plenty of APIs and things that you can do to your modules or to your extensions or to the new type of extensions, which are persona bar extensions. So yes, you as a developer you can manipulate that. But good point there, Mike. Okay. Great. Let me go here to my PowerPoint once again. Okay, so I also wanted to quickly mention a bit of, I'm not going to go into details as to what is different from the admin and super user. I just want to highlight that there are some differences, and I think that I have another browser open that has this site loaded. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so here, I think that's, yeah, I'm logged out already. Let me try to log in. I have created another user in this website, which is running on my local environment, as this user is an admin user. And just want to point out a few differences. For instance, if you go to site settings, and I'm gonna go to the same feature there as a super user. Let me see if it's not site assets. Sorry, site settings. Yes, site settings. Okay, so I'm just navigating a little bit here. Yes, if I go to the same place actually, you see, right there, you have some differences. You under site settings, site behavior, there are clearly some differences there. You don't have access, of course, to site alias. But my point was not in any particular feature. It was really about this little globe here. Whenever you are looking at the site as super user and you see this little globe, the globe really means that this option is only available for super users, for host level users. It's not available for admin users. I think I had some other. Let me see here if I find site behavior here. Let me have a look. Yeah, there were. I don't recall where that was anymore. Let me see if it's on security. It might be under security, because there were clearly some settings available to one and here it is. You see, security, member account. Right away you see, for instance, reset link or administration reset link, enable password history. All options with this little globe. Actually, it's not even. It's the sub-navigation itself, which is member management, is not even there. As you can see, it has a little globe here. And again, whenever you see globe, it means that it's global to the entire website, to the entire DNN instance. If you have multiple sites running on the same instance, you know that this is only available for super user, not for admin level users. That's what I wanted to bring to your attention in general from this particular slide. Okay, so
if I can add to that, those things you just pointed out, they should be portal specific, not for all of the sites. So that's been a problem for years with separating it from the site setting. That's a global setting for all the portals or all the sites, or just for that particular site. I suggested a long time ago they should all be portal settings specific to the site. They can default from that, like an administrator reset link timeout. That could be different if you had a portal for a public thing, or if you have something that's highly secure.
I get it.
So it should be portal specific. That's just my comment.
I get it. No, it makes sense. But just clearing up what is how it's working, right now over there. So
could that be because you're logged as a host user though? If you went in as an admin level at a portal, would maybe those would change potentially?
Actually, in this particular case, I mean, if you see here, Mike, member account, sorry, it's not even there, member account is not even there, and the sub navigation is not even there, and it's just one example of many here. Even if you go to, let's say, more, see the more option, see, I mean, again, I don't know what the setting is about, but here's another example of a setting that is available on host level, but it's not available on the admin level, And again, it's there are many options like that, settings like that throughout the site, Here's another one, more security settings. None of those are site specific, they are all global settings because of, you see the little globe there. Okay. Carrying on here. Okay, so now I'm gonna start the DNN 9.2 specific enhancements, modifications as compared to DNN 9.1 or DNN 9.1.1. It's not too many here that I'm gonna mention. I'm just gonna focus on the UI side of things, what you can detect from the UI. There are 4 major points that I wanted to bring to your attention. I'm gonna start with pages. As Andrew and David were talking about before, the interface here of pages have been pretty much revamped because bugs on the old one, or maybe because I guess that people were just having a bad experience with that, or with the previous interface, But seems to be working quite well, the new pages interface. It's mostly about the left-hand side tree view that used to be, a bit more complicated, a bit trickier to work with on the earlier versions of DNN 9. So that's the first one that was upgraded and improved on DNN 9.2 pages. Connectors as well. Now, here's where you can find connectors. Connectors is a feature that used to be available only for on the paid platform on Evoke. However, it's now brought over to the main platform. The only thing is that I'm still not 100% sure of where this particular connector, because connectors, it can be, I mean, you can, I think that you can even have third-party vendors creating connectors to the website, and it does need to be only about storage. However, out of the box, the DNN 9 platform comes with Azure connector, which allows you to connect to Azure. I'm assuming that this Azure connector is to store files on Azure. However, I think that I didn't fully test this, but I think that there might be a slightly disconnect right now, because ideally, I would say that where this would be used would be under site assets or global assets, which is where we store files. But I think that there is already a setup here for that. However, if I understand this correctly, the intention is to also move away from this particular control, this particular file management control that is being used right now. And I think that this is the last piece that we are missing to convert to the persona bar before we can fully get rid of Telerik. I think that this is, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is the only reason why Telerik is still around, is to accommodate this control, this tree view control. So my point is this: I think there is you can actually create a new type of folder here from Azure. However, I'm not sure if this is connected to that connector. I don't know if this is fully integrated yet. And again, maybe this will be once we have a new file manager that is native to the persona bar. Not sure if anyone understood that, but...
So I had a question for that. Yeah. So the Azure connector that's in 9.2. I haven't played with it yet, but if I'm understanding you correctly, it's just it's just to hook in to file management. It's not to do anything else with Azure, because that's kind of a very large landscape for just file management.
I get it. I get it. But beyond that is that I don't think that connector there is yet. I haven't tested that, to be honest, but I don't think that is yet connected to this, because here it's asking again for account name, key name, which is already asking there. Anyway.
But it's asking for container name there. Can you scroll down a little bit on that?
Yep, sure.
I think it's looking for like Azure Blob Storage.
Well, it is there with the container name. That's an Azure Blob Storage, but the account name and key, that's going to be information to connect to your Azure account. And the reason why I'm asking these questions is with Azure is not just blob storage, it's all sorts of different things. So it'd be really cool if the connector was one place to plug in information about your subscription to Azure and authenticate with that. And then if you wanted to use, let's say, Azure Functions to build really simple web APIs out that you can then go do something and return data, and then you would be able to write your view that could communicate with it, or any of the other hundreds of thousands of things you can do in Azure. But it looks like this is focused just on blob storage.
Got it. And I guess
Aderson, what happens if you hover over the little info bubble right there?
The info bubble here.
What's the help? No, yep. For the account name, account key.
Well, enter account name.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I mean, I think that Andrew might be right there. I might be oversimplifying this, and it's the connector there. Here it's maybe a generic one, a global one, and again, if you click connect, it will ask for the account name and account key. It has nothing to do with you know, just pure and simple storage. It might be beyond that, and then this might be used there. I don't know, but here's what I know. I know that Ash in the blog post that was talking about the release, I know that he will be putting together a better maybe explanation, maybe more details about what this is actually doing, and I'm hoping that this will come at some point in the near future. But yeah, I don't have too much information about that. This is, you know, this is really what I have so far about, which is not much, about connectors. Okay, next here. Okay, prompts. So for you guys out there that love a command line, love PowerShell or things like that, you know, are heavily involved in the admin side of things, now very well put together, you know, by Kelly Ford and a lot of contribution from community members as well. We have a command line feature, admin feature on DNN 9.2 called prompt. And for lack of a better word, it's a prompt command line that you can type in commands and it will run that against the website. So it's a command line way to manage features that most of them you can otherwise use via the UI. But if you are used to run command line, things can get can be done very fast if you just type in stuff. And there are so many plans for prompts on how this will grow over time to maybe allow people to manage from this prompt to be able to connect and manage a DNN website that is hosted somewhere else, that is not even this site. So there are a lot of plans to enhance prompt, but at this point, here's what you can do. Let's just type in help there. You're gonna see a list of commands with a description, a quick description. You're gonna see that they are hyperlinked comments, and if I click on any one of them, let's say list commands, it will type in for me help space that command, which I can press enter, and it can give me actually I figured it it runs and it gives me help on that command if there are additional parameters for that command. I'm gonna get another one here, for example. Let's get one related to list users. So if I hit enter, it's not only giving me the list of users of this site, but it's also showing me the syntax of how to use this command. And as you can see, you can use wildcards, you can use parameters as well. And again, when you say command help command, it will give you all the different parameters that can be used with that particular command. So again, you can do all kinds of things here. See, if I type in CLS, it will clear the whole thing. I can use arrow up to go up the list of commands that I have used before. Again, very similar to how a regular command line works. Let me go to help again here. Let me see what else. See, we can do things like create new pages, create new users, using a bunch of parameters as well. Again, the sky's the limit when it comes to this one here. And we get newer versions of DNN, I'm sure that there are plans of vendors to be able to add their own commands to prompt as well. Again, I'm really looking forward to get used to using it more and more, up to the point that I can no longer use DNN 8 or 7 because there's no prompt there. Okay, so what else we can do here?
Addison, I wanted to make a comment about this. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but around the same time when prompt was coming out, Dave, myself, I think Clint, were talking with Kelly and Peter about prompt, and we ended up creating most of the work. I think Peter ended up creating a PowerShell module so you can communicate with a 9.2 DNN instance from PowerShell. And David's been posting the links in the chat there.
Awesome. I think that I saw that at some point, but again, it was not fresh in my mind. Great. Awesome. So one thing here that, and again, everybody will have their wish list. No, I started to have my wish list as soon as I start to play around with prompts. But I think that I found a way around that. Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to use some of the list commands, and whatever the output was, I wanted to be able to copy that output and place it somewhere else. Let's say in Excel or whatever it is. So here's what I was able to come up with. So I'm gonna just click on list users. Actually, let me do this. Let me clear and let me list users. So let's say that if I want to copy that, I was trying to, okay, how do I select this? And I tried to select, and it as soon as I release the mouse, it's gone. And again, I cannot copy this. If one of you guys know how to copy this easily, let me know. But the way I come up with was that you can actually select the whole thing. If you move the mouse over to the personal bar and release, now it's selected. Ta-da! And now you can press Ctrl C and you can paste this very nicely on Excel.
So Aderson, what you need to do is create a custom command. It's very simple to do, and it'll export that to Excel for you with your new custom command.
I'm gonna, bite my tongue here, I guess, But in any case, that was my way around that, because I'm crazy. I'm junky about getting data from the site and copying to Excel and look at the data. I'm a junkie on that. So I needed to copy this information. I said, how do I copy this bloody thing? That's it. That's how you can copy. Anyway, okay, so that's prompt. And this is not a new feature. However, this was very annoying on earlier versions of DNN 9 because the search was not working properly. Now, it seems, at least as far as I've tested, it seems that it's working quite well. If you go here to users, you're going to be able to search. It will actually work with the show drop down. You're gonna be able to search by first name, last name, email address, username. Everything is working fine. One thing though, if you want to do partial search, not starting the beginning of the name, I'm gonna give an example. Of course, if I put here Aderson, it will show the two records there. But if I start with SON, which is part of my name, it won't show. However, you can, use percentage sign and it will do partial search for you as well. So the reason why I highlighted that is because I've been working with a few DNN 9 websites, and it has been a problem, constant problem with clients that, hey, user search is not working well. I cannot find people, blah, 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 blah. And this seems to be solved now. Okay.
My apologies. I don't understand.
My apologies. I mean, I didn't say Google. I said, did I say, hey, Google? I didn't.
Google's just being very polite.
Why? I don't know why this bloody thing chimed in. Anyway.
Hey, Aderson. Hey, Aderson.
Okay.
We were just chatting with Kelly Ford, and he might have a workaround for your copy paste thing.
Okay. So what is it?
Do Control C before you mouse up.
Control C. Okay. Okay.
Before you mouse up.
No, you know what? I've tried that. It then if I don't release the mouse, it doesn't copy.
Oh,
I tried that
did before it went to Corp. So
that was the first thing that I've tried. In any case, okay. So that's your search. Let me see here. Okay, so what I've done in this slide is I just listed a bunch of links. And again, this whole thing will be available to download. Just links that will show specific blog posts from Ash Prasad and some other people from DNN Corp explaining what else is new on DNN 9. I haven't gone through the things like over 500 APIs have been removed that were deprecated. They are very old APIs that were only relevant to, I think, that DNN 4, 5, 6, I think that 7, 8, everything is still there. A lot of jQuery was brought up to date, a new version of Newton Soft as well. So again, I haven't dig into that. My focus was on the UI side of things. Also, very good blog post from Mitchell Sellers on what you need to be aware when upgrading to DNN 9.2. And there's also a security bulletin of why, what are the security issues that have been addressed with DNN 9.2. Nothing major there, just a bunch of little things, but nothing really critical. I think it's the right term. Nothing critical there that has been released as a security update for DNN 9.2. Let me see here. I think, let me just check here. I think that's about it, guys. Let me see if there's any last comments, anything else that, again, maybe anyone would like to mention about DNN 9, the ones that know about DNN 9.2, anything that, that, I don't know, that should be mentioned that was not mentioned. David, I mean, anybody? Or crickets, questions or crickets?
I would just caution everybody, if you're looking at upgrading, just make sure any modules that you're running is going to work. Definitely try it in a test environment first. Even your themes and things like that are susceptible to breakage due to jQuery upgrades and stuff like that. So it's a good path forward, but just be cautious on the upgrades there.
I'm curious to hear everybody that's worked with it on a scale of 1 to 10. What do they think about it?
Okay, I'll start. I would give it a solid 8.
Okay, that's interesting.
Hey, Aderson, I'm sorry, Dennis. Aderson, Kelly says that you're lying. He just tried the Control-C copy and prompt from 9.
Let me tell you this. I've tried that. It did not work. I don't know if I wasn't fast enough. And I don't know, maybe it's a Mac thing. Maybe I don't know. I've tried, didn't work.
You weren't holding your mouth just right, Aderson.
I don't know.
He's calling you out. That's all I'm letting
Okay.
you know.
You know what? I mean, I have to debunk that. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second because I have to take.
Kelly did say he was on Windows.
Kelly's on the meeting, I think.
Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so let's see. List.
Are you on Windows or Mac right now?
I am on Windows. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna select. I'm still holding. Control C. Now I'm gonna open text editor here. And chadadam. Okay. Oh. Okay, I swear that I've tried this. It did not work before.
That's awesome.
Oh. Okay, Kelly, congratulations. You got me. Oh, you know what? It is still holding the selection. I don't know. Yeah, you know, I must have done something wrong here, but great. Now, at least one more way to copy and paste from prompt. Thank you, Kelly.
I guess there goes the opportunity to create a custom command for you, huh?
Okay, I think that's... I don't want to hold you guys any longer than what I must.
Addison?
Yep.
It's John. I just wanted to jump in with one thing from a couple minutes ago.
Yep.
And I don't know where it fits, but when you go into the DNN documentation, those connectors show a huge list, not just the Azure, but it shows Amazon S3, Discus, Google Analytics, Twitter, MailChimp, all kinds of stuff.
I get it. It's because what you're seeing there, John, are the connectors available on Evoke.
Okay.
So yeah, Evoke has a bunch of connectors. I think that the only connector that was released to the platform was the Azure connector.
Okay. Sorry. That's all I had to add. Thank you.
No. That's great. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to confuse and clarify a little bit. You know.
Now I understand more.
Addison, do you know if the connectors are we able to add additional connectors if we're,
I don't know if that
modules something we can do for that or something?
Yeah, I don't know if this is already available. Mike, you are shaking your head there. I mean, is it?
Yeah, I came across some stuff the other day. I don't think there's any like good documentation on that at this point, but from what I saw, it's supposed to be extensible.
Okay, cool. I haven't looked at it since we've been talking about it. Like, it'd be cool if I can add the connector to something different.
Yeah, I mean, it's logical. It must be available as yet in
yeah. There's an API that was released as part of 9.2. I haven't plugged into it or messed around with it yet, but it looks like it's all there.
Okay, cool.
Good. Anybody else? About DNN 9.2? Any questions? Any final comments about, I guess, DNN 9.2?
It's kind of related to 9.2, Addison. Not sure what the meeting cadence is, but there are some features that I put into 9.2 that I would love to do a presentation on at one of our user groups meetings.
Awesome. And that's a great segue to say that, you know what, guys, this is the first one here. I feel in as the presenter here, but I intend to bring way more qualified people than myself, way better presenters than myself. So this is the very first one. But again, the idea is to bring a lot of people to help us out on a monthly basis. My goal is to have this on a monthly basis. I really wanted to make this online because I think that it's one less barrier for us to meet and discuss, because you're doing that from the comfort of your house, your office, whatever it is, and you don't have to drive. And when I saw the amount of people, you know, that were interested in joining, local people, I saw people from the west of Toronto, from central Toronto, from east Toronto. So it will be very hard to have, you know, one location, physical location to meet. Hopefully at some point we can talk about meeting physically, but I think that at this point in time we're gonna be doing this online, and by doing this online as well, we can leverage a lot of knowledge there in the ecosystem in general. As you realize that we have much more people from outside than from the GTA. But that's it. That's really it for this meeting. So, few notes. You can download the presentation from that URL there at the bottom. So tadug.org/2018-april.zip. This is the PowerPoint. Not that there's too many stuff there, but there are some links that you may find useful. What else? One more thing. We may have to, I don't know, maybe move away from the landing page of on Meetup, because as I was told, and I saw that in their rules and regulations, whatever it is, that Meetup is supposed to be in person with maybe an online component. Right now we will be only having this as an online meeting for now. So I will reach out to you guys, but I'll try to do that via emails, because again, I'm not sure if we are able to use Meetup as our housing for in the long run because of that. But again, as I said, I'm playing by ear here and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Anything else? I mean, anybody else would like to comment? I mean, is this an interesting format? Does this timing work? Does this day of the week work for everybody? Any comments? Any final comments there from anyone? Crickets?
Great
No.
turnout. They're great turnout.
And just a thank you to Anderson for putting this together, because it's something I always wanted to do, get it going again, but life just got too busy. So thanks again, Anderson, for bringing it back up alive again, and especially with the recent changes in DNN and things like that. It hopefully will add a spark to a few other places too. So
Awesome.
thanks.
And again, it's again, the idea is to have, actually, I mean, we could settle on that, if it's not a holiday or anything, but maybe first Wednesday of every month could be our time. Again, I'll reach out via email. We'll communicate. Bear with me while I get things settled. There's no website yet to go, but we'll get there eventually. Okay, so guys, that's really it. No reason to stick around longer.
Aderson, are you going to post these replays? If so, we would welcome it on the DNN community blog.
Yes, of course. I will have. I mean, let me just see which recording worked the best. Let me put together the final record. Let me publish that, and yeah, I'll publish there in the community blog as well. Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Sleep well, sleep tight, and good to see you, everybody here. Thank you very much for showing up. And yeah, a good show up. 14 people, 14 or 12 people. Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much, guys. See you next time.